Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Monday edition of Bakersfield College Renegade Virtual Fitness. I'm Casey Babcock, and we are downtown at the Evolve Core Yoga Studio. And we're going to get a nice little flow starting the Monday off, finding that strength and kind of setting the pace for our Monday and for our week. So grab that mat, grab that towel, and we're going to get started here. We're just going to take a few moments finding that child's pose. We're going to rest the hips back, extending the hands forward, dropping that chest, resting the forehead onto the mat. Allowing the body to rest before we start. Taking some time to find our breath, to set any intentions for today or for the week. We're just going to hold this child's pose for about 1.5 minutes here. So let the body sink into it, resting those hips back. Holding that child's pose. Finding that strong inhale in, that exhale out. Taking that another strong inhale in, exhaling out. Finding one more all together, that strong inhale in, that exhale out. We're going to lift the forehead off the mat, looking forward at those thumbs. We're going to crawl these hands over to our right side, bringing them to that hip level. That left elbow's planted, that right arm's extended, looking under that right arm. Walking the hands back towards center, looking forward to the thumbs. Now walking the hands to that left side, planting that right elbow, that left arm's extended, looking under that left arm. Crawling the hands back to center, looking forward to the thumbs. We're going to slightly shift those hips above the knees, extending the hands. Those forearms are planted. We drop the chin to the mat, looking forward. Finding that puppy. Bringing the hands all the way back to the knees. Pushing that torso up. Straightening the spine, bringing the shoulders over the hips, rolling the shoulders back, opening the palms to the side. We're going to inhale the arms up, Dropping that right palm to that right thigh. We're going to stretch that left arm to that right side, elongating that left torso. Bringing it back to center, lifting that right arm up. We drop that left palm to the left thigh, stretching that right to the left side. Inhaling that left arm up. Finding it again, dropping the right, stretching that left to the right side. Inhaling back up. Dropping that left, we're going to stretch that right to the left. Inhaling back up, finding it one more time, dropping the right, bringing that left to the right. Inhaling that right up, dropping that left, stretching that right hand to the left side. Inhaling both arms up. We're going to extend them forward, crawling the hands, dropping the hips down, aligning those palms to that chest level. We're going to lift up, finding baby cobra, just the chest and that top rib off the mat. The tops of the feet are planted, the thighs on that mat. Lifting that chin, bringing it back down. And again, lifting up, finding our baby cobra. And back down. One more time, finding baby cobra. And back down. Keeping the knees planted, we're going to push off from that mat. Finding that child's pose again. Sliding the hands a little closer to the body, we're going to push up, finding our tabletop. The knees are under those hips, ankles under the shoulder, or wrists under the shoulders, the fingers are spread. We want that weight to be driven through the mat, through those hands, starting from the base of the thumb through that index fingers. Fingers are spread wide. We're going to get into our cat-cow, dropping the spine, lifting up the head and tail. Driving into the mat, finding our cat, a nice arch in the back. Drive the weight through that thumb and index finger. And again, we drop down, pushing into that head and tail. Finding our cat again, driving the weight down through the palms. One more time, dropping the spine, lifting up that head and tail. Arching the back, finding cat. Bringing the spine to neutral, crawling the palms forward. Knees stay planted, dropping that chest back down. We've got the palms again at that chest level. This time we're going to find that full cobra, fully locking out the arms, shining that chest forward, pushing up from that mat, lifting that chin. Dropping back down to that mat. Getting it again, pushing out of that mat, driving into full cobra. And dropping it back down. One final time, pushing through the mat, extending into that full cobra. From this cobra, we curl under our back toes, pulling those hips up, finding our high plank. From high plank, we want to push the hips back, dropping the chest. We find our first downward dog today. Remembering we utilize that downward dog, that child's pose, finding our rest, regaining the control of the breath. In this downward, we're going to slight bend in that left knee, driving that right heel down to the mat. And now find that opposite, left heel driven down. And switch it up. Finding that now at your own pace, alternating, driving those heels down. Holding this downward dog. We're going to find a flow here. From downward dog, we're kicking up that right foot, pointing the toes back, taking a nice hold. Now swinging that foot through the hand, bringing that ankle under that knee, keeping that left leg straight. We're going to lift into our crescent. From this crescent, we turn to that left side, dropping that right palm, lifting that left. Bringing it back to crescent, finding that balance. Planting our hands on the mat. We're going to bring our right foot back, finding our high plank. Pushing back into our downward dog. Finding that opposite side, we kick up that left foot, pointing those toes back. Swinging that foot through those hands, finding that crescent. Turning now to that right side, dropping that left arm, pulling that right hand straight up. Trying to find that straight line. We take it back to our crescent. Planting our hands on the mat, bringing our left foot back, we take our high plank. Dropping the hips down, lifting into cobra. Curling under the toes, driving the hips up, high plank. Pushing back to downward dog. We're going to find that repeat, nice and controlled. From downward, we kick up that right foot again. Swinging it through the hands, finding our crescent. Turning to the left, we drop our right. And back to crescent. Planting our hands, finding our high plank, bringing that right foot back. Pushing back into our downward dog. Left foot comes up, pointing the toes. Swinging it through the hands. Crescent. Dropping that left palm, raising that right. Back to crescent. Planting the hands, finding our high plank, dropping the chest down. Finding our full cobra. Curling under the back toes, drive the hips up. Finding our plank. Pushing back to downward dog. And we get it again. That right foot comes up, toes pointed. Swinging it through. Taking our crescent. Turning to the left. Back to crescent. Planting our hands, bringing right foot back. We find high plank. Driving back to downward dog. Left foot comes up. Swinging it through those hands. Taking that crescent. Dropping that left, raising that right. Back to crescent. Planting the hands, bringing that left foot back, high plank. Dropping the chest down. Tops of the feet down, pushing up into full cobra. And back to downward dog. Dropping the knees to the mat. You can grab some water if you'd like. We're going to meet back in that tabletop. Hope we're all having a great Monday. Finding that flow. Catching that breath. You can meet me in that tabletop. We've got those knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. I want you to bring those big toes together. We're going to pick up this right hand, stretching it to the sky, looking up. Threading it under that left, driving the hips back, extending that left hand forward, looking over towards that right side, over that right shoulder, driving it into that mat. Sliding that left hand back, planting it under the shoulder, pushing up, extending that right hand back up, looking up. Planting that hand on the mat. We're going to inhale that left arm up, looking up, threading it under that right, sliding the hips back, dropping that left shoulder, extending that right hand. We're going to look over that left shoulder. Sliding that right hand back, planting under the shoulder, pushing up, inhaling that left arm back up. Exhaling it back to the mat, crawling the hands forward, dropping the chest. Extending that right arm all the way out to that right side. That left palm's planted next to the chest. Loosening up these shoulders, we're going to push through that left palm, rolling over that right. I want us to try to bring that left foot back, see if it can meet that right hand. Letting that weight roll through that shoulder. This should hurt, but not be too bad. We're going to hold it here, pushing deeper as we exhale out. And rolling back to our center. Retracting that right palm, planting it at the chest. We extend that left hand all the way out. Pushing through that mat with that right palm. We're rolling that torso over that left shoulder, bringing that right foot back. We want to see if that foot can meet that left hand. One side should be a little looser than the other. And rolling back to center. Pulling in that left palm, gathering the breath. Keeping the knees planted, pushing that chest up, crawling the hands back towards those knees. We're going to drop the hips towards that left side, bringing those feet around in front. Opening the palms at the side. We're going to inhale the arms up. Exhaling just that right palm, placing it behind the hips, finding that center mat. We're going to drop the feet towards that right side, pushing through that right palm, driving those hips up, extending that left hand. Finding that wild thing variation. We can hold. Exhale the hips back down. Straightening the feet, inhaling that right arm up. We're going to take the left hand down, finding that center mat. We can drop the feet to the left side, driving the hips up. Exhaling back down. Bringing that left arm back up. We're going to find that repeated. Exhaling that right palm down, center mat. Dropping the feet towards the right. Driving up. Exhaling down. Bringing that right palm up. Dropping that left. Dropping the feet to the left. Taking the hips up. And bringing it back down. Straightening the feet, heels off the side of the mat. We're going to pull that left foot in, letting it meet that right inner thigh, dropping the palms open. We inhale the arms up, exhaling to the left, planting the hands, framing that left knee. We're going to push, bringing that right foot all the way back, aligning those hips over that ankle. Finding our pigeon, coming up onto the fingertips, lifting the chest and chin. Coming down to the palms, crawling those hands forward. We can drop down to those elbows or all the way down to the chest if it's in your practice. Letting those hips pull open. Keep the hips down, catching that breath. This is a long hold. You should feel it pull through that hip into that glute. We're going to plant those palms again. Pushing back, letting the hips fall to that left side. We're going to bring the feet back around. Feet are spread. We now bring that right foot into that left inner thigh. Opening the palms, inhaling the arms up, twisting to the right, frame that right knee, pushing off, extending that left foot all the way back. Letting the hips rest over that ankle, coming up onto the fingertips, lifting the chest and chin. Drawing the hands forward. You can come down to the elbows, those forearms, or take it all the way down to the chest. We're going to take a nice long hold here. Just a little bit longer. Planting those palms, raising that chest. This time we're going to curl under that left toe, lifting the hips up, bringing that right foot out. We want to push the hips back, finding our downward dog. Gathering our breath, utilizing this downward for that rest. Just to loosen up the body, we're going to find a chaturanga, dropping that chest down, swooping up, flipping up those feet, finding our upward dog, With the elbows tight, the thighs off the mat. Flipping the toes, pushing back to our downward dog. From this downward dog, we're going to kick up that right foot again, pointing the toes, swinging it through the hands. We want to turn open that left foot, coming up into our warrior one. Turning to the left, finding warrior two. Bringing that left hand behind the back, raising that right, finding reverse. Holding this reverse, we want to straighten that right knee. Both legs locked out. Bringing it back to that reverse warrior, knee over ankle. Opening into warrior two. Turning forward to warrior one. Planting our hands. We want to bring that right foot up into three-legged, dropping the chest down, vinyasa up into upward dog. Pushing back, downward dog. Kicking our left foot up, pointing the toes, swinging them through the hands. We turn out that back foot, finding our warrior one. That knees over ankle, back foot's turned out. We're right on the blade of that foot, pushing through the back of that mat. We're going to turn ourselves right, finding our warrior two. Keep the hips aligned. Don't let them drop forward. Dropping that right arm around the back. We're going to lift up, finding reverse, and extending that left foot. Bending that left knee back to reverse warrior. And into warrior two. Turning forward to warrior one. Planting the hands, we find our three-legged dog. Taking it down, upward dog. Downward dog. Bending our knees, we can hop or step forward. Coming into a halfway lift. Forward fold. Knees together, coming into our chair. Bringing the hands to prayer at that center chest. We're going to turn that prayer towards the right side, that left elbow over right knee. Keeping those hips in line, those knees level. We want to drive that prayer to the center of the chest. Those thumbs meeting that sternum. Bringing prayer to center, shoulders back. Let's take it left. Re-straighten those hips. Prayer to center chest. Prayer back to center. Finding our forward fold. Having that halfway lift. We plant the hands, step or hop those feet back. Pushing back into downward dog. Finding it all one more time, kicking that right foot up. Swinging it through those hands, turning out that left foot. That weight's through the blade of the foot. Coming up, knee over ankle, warrior one. Turning left, finding our warrior two. Wrapping that left, raising that right, reverse warrior. Extending that right knee, finding that reverse triangle. Bringing it back to reverse warrior. Finding warrior two. Forward to one. Planting our hands, bringing it into three-legged dog. Chaturanga down into upward dog. Downward dog. Left foot comes up. Swinging it through, turning out that back. Warrior one, check that knee and ankle. Turning right, warrior two. Wrapping that right, raising that left, reverse warrior. Extending that leg, reverse triangle. Back to reverse warrior. And warrior two. Turning it forward, finding warrior one. Planting our hands, taking three-legged dog. Dropping it down, Chaturanga Vinyasa up. Downward dog. Bending the knees, we hop or step forward. Taking our halfway lift. Finding our forward fold, drawing the chest in. Knees are together. Front toes. Bending the knees, dropping the hips. Swinging the hands up, finding our chair, Utkatasana. And climbing the hips back up, coming to prayer. Grabbing more water, shaking out those legs, gathering our breath. When you're ready, we'll be seated on that mat. We've got the feet out in front. The knees are slightly bent. We're going to start taking that left foot underneath that right leg, drawing that left foot to that right hip. Taking now that right leg, crossing that left knee. We're going to twist ourselves over to the left side. Extending that left arm, driving weight from that right arm into that right knee, looking over our left shoulder. As we exhale, twisting a little further back. Releasing that twist, keeping the legs locked. We're going to twist to that right side now. Extending that right arm, looking over the right shoulder, driving weight from that left arm into that right knee. And release, unlocking the legs, finding the knees slightly bent. We're going to take that right ankle around the body, bringing it to that left side, crossing that left foot over. We're going to plant that right hand, looking through that right side again, driving weight from that left arm into that left knee. As we exhale again, twisting a little further back. Releasing the torso, keeping the legs locked. We're going to twist to that left side now, planting that left arm, looking over that left shoulder, driving weight from the right arm to the left knee. Releasing that torso, unlocking those legs, resetting ourselves to that center of the mat. We're going to drop that torso back. Bringing the knees up to the chest, finding that upside down tabletop. We want to cross that right foot over that left, locking those legs together. Extending the arms above the head. We're going to bend at those elbows, wrapping that right hand over that left. From here, we're going to bring those elbows into those knees, lifting the shoulders off the mat, and we're going to take an extended hold. Here we go, raising the shoulders up, holding that core tight, bringing those elbows to those knees. Dropping ourselves back down, releasing the arms and legs. We're going to raise the knees again into that upside down tabletop, this time crossing the left over the right. And the same with those arms. Just like before, we're going to raise the shoulders, bringing those elbows into those knees. Here we go, bringing it up. Hold the core tight. And releasing back. We're planting the palms next to those ribs, pushing that torso up. In that seated position, we're going to rock forward over those knees, extending the feet behind, curling under the back toes, taking those hips up, forward fold. Bringing it to halfway lift, forward fold, and we inhale the arms up. Keeping those arms raised. We're going to bring those index fingers flat together, crossing the rest of those fingers. Just those two index fingers pointed to the sky. Finding some balance. We want to drive the weight through this left foot. Bending that right knee, starting on the toes. We want to slide that right foot up that leg, bringing it to the side, up past that level of the knee, and holding. Finding something to focus on to keep that balance. Pulling that right knee more open to the right side. Releasing the hands. We're going to forward fold. Releasing the foot, extending it all the way behind, pointing those toes back. With that leg extended, coming up onto the fingertips, that left foot's planted. We're going to raise that torso up, extending those hands forward. And bring that right foot back. Gathering the breath. We're going to find that again, that opposite side. Shaking those legs out. We're going to inhale the arms up. Interlocking the fingers, pointing those index fingers to the sky. Planting that weight through that right foot. We're going to begin sliding that left foot up to that inner thigh. That left knee out to the left side. Finding something on the wall to focus on, keeping that balance. Pull that left knee a little more open. Releasing the hands, finding a forward fold. We release that left foot, extending it all the way back. Planting the hands on that mat. Coming to the fingertips. That left foot's extended. We're going to raise those right hand or raise both hands, stretching forward. And bringing them in. Catch your breath, shake those legs out. We're going to spread those heels to the edge of the mat, opening the palms to the side. Finding our final movements for today. We can inhale the arms up, bringing the palms together, bringing them down to prayer. From here, we're going to slowly drop the hips, opening those knees wide, finding that goddess squat. From these heels planted, we want to lift the heels, coming up onto the toes. The legs should shake. We're going to hold. Bringing the heels back down, releasing prayer, extending back behind, dropping the hips to the mat, extending that right and left foot. Again, we open the palms, inhaling the arms up, extending those hands forward, straight out in front of the chest. To finish up today's flow, taking that slow, controlled drop all the way into a quick savasana. Dropping ourselves back, keeping the belly button to the spine. Here we go, take it back. Nice and controlled. Keep those hands stretched forward. Taking it all the way down to the mat, relaxing the arms. We're going to enter into that savasana, closing the eyes, finding that inhale in, raising the spine off the mat, exhaling out, allowing the body to sink into the earth. Closing the eyes, just finding that breath. Remembering any intention we may have set for the day. Finding the gratitude of a new week, a new month, for the opportunity of today. Continue gathering the breath. That deep inhale in, exhale it out. And again, inhaling in, exhaling out. One more time, inhaling in, exhaling out. Finding some movement through the fingers and the toes. A rotation of the wrists and the ankles. Allowing ourselves to drop to that right side. Landing that left palm, we can push off, raising ourselves into our seated position as we find our close. Closing the eyes, letting the palms rest open on those knees. Taking that deep inhale in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. And again, inhaling through the nose, opening the mouth, let it out. One more time, inhaling through the nose, opening the mouth, let it out. Bringing those hands to prayer at that center chest. Thank you guys for joining me on your Monday afternoon, finding your flow, hopefully finding that strength and positive mindset to push through this week. Please join us again tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We have Bianca back with us, and we're going to be going through an upper body workout. But I hope you all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day. Namaste.